What's up, you crazy and wild movie collectors, and welcome back to the Lucid Nightmare. I'm your host as always, Jay Schatzer, and today, well, it's time for another Quickie movie haul. And like I said in the last video, we got a shit ton to go, so let's keep moving and keeping on. Let's start out with a very classy, I guess you call it a musical horror film. It is outstanding. Directed by Brian De Palma, and yeah, it's Phantom of the Paradise. Booyah! This one is amazing. This is an amazing film. If you haven't had time to check it out, and even if you don't like musicals, it's a really cool kind of collaboration of horror elements and different musical archetypes, and the Faust kind of legend of selling your soul for like fame and things like that. But yeah, it's a really fun film with a great cast. What's his face is in this one? What is his name? I always screw up his name and I call him something else. Well, Jessica Harper is in this one as the lead actress in it. She does an amazing job. You might remember her from Suspiria. Paul Williams is in this one. He plays a kind of sleazy record producer. And then the main character in it is William Finley, who plays a timid composer who gets double-crossed and turns into the Phantom of Paradise. Phantom of the Paradise. But really great film. I loved it for a long time. First time it's in the collection, though, because I've never owned it prior on DVD, and this is the Scream Factory release. But a really cool, creative, and fun film with a lot of great characters, a lot of cool style, and some excellent music. But let's keep moving on to the next one. It is an 80s slasher film that is kind of underappreciated and not a lot of people talk about it, but it's got a pretty cool premise. I got some nice little cameos from Sam Raimi and Bruce Campbell, but only in voice form, I guess. But it's directed by their good buddy, Scott Spiegel. It is Intruder, and is pretty much is set in a grocery store where all the employees are attacked by an unseen killer, and they're all trying to survive after hours, and that's pretty much the gist of it. But it's really cool, kind of low budget. A lot of cool effects in it, and just the location in general in the grocery store is really cool. Just something you haven't really seen in any other kind of movie out there. But really awesome. And like I said, Sam Raimi does have a part in this. He's like the guy in the meat packing part of the grocery store. But yeah, the rest of them are pretty much unknowns. But really cool slasher film for anyone that hasn't seen it before. Definitely check it out. This is the Synapse Films release of it, and I have a few Synapse films in here that I ordered recently, so we're gonna come across a few of these guys. But Intruder, really awesome stuff, and very entertaining. Moving on to something. I like to throw a curveball at you guys every so often, so you don't know what the hell I'm going to be pulling up next. But this one is an 80s romantic comedy, and it is a guilty pleasure of mine. I am not ashamed that I love this movie, and I'm not ashamed that I have songs from it in my head right now going over and over again. The movie I'm talking about is the fabulous Teen Witch. Teen Witch. This movie's badass. I don't give a shit what you say. I love it. I didn't really have a huge love for the movie until recently, watching it again, and whew, this one is something else. Great music, like I said. Just a really silly premise where a teen girl wishes she was popular, and her fairy godmother, in the form of that Zelda chick from Poltergeist, she gives her powers and she wishes to be popular, but you know, popularity and wishing for something, there's a price to it, and she learns a lesson like in all 80s films. But it's a really fun movie. The cast is extraordinary. The whole thing is silly. It's just fun. It's pure 80s fun. And I'm not ashamed to say I have Teen Witch in the collection. But first time in the collection because I didn't own it on DVD prior. And with The Intruder, boom, I did own that on DVD. But great stuff. Next up, back to the horror. This is a very, very strange Australian horror film that really it's really out there. The whole premise is pretty much, well, let me tell you what it is and then I'll tell you the premise. Boom, long weekend. And the whole premise is a couple goes out to have a little vacation on the coast, but all this weird stuff starts happening to them and it rips them kind of further apart. I think it's almost like a metaphor on the ending of relationships and how people can get pretty cruel towards the end, but it gets pretty brutal, and just random weird stuff happens to this couple. Birds and animals start attacking them, and they find a dead seal or something on the shore, or dolphin, or it's really, really crazy. But it's been a while since I've seen it, so that's why I'm kind of vague on what the specifics was. But really amazing film, and I do believe I had this on DVD before, but adding it into the collection thanks to Synapse Films, and picked it up on one of their sales. But a long weekend, really, really cool. And it says it's from the writer of Road Games and Razorback. And I saw Razorback a long time ago, I think in college. But I just watched Road Games 2 weeks ago with the crew. And that was the first time I've ever seen it. Pretty cool film. It was not what I expected, but it was still entertaining. But long weekend, fabulous film, very under the radar. Nobody really talks about it. And I should probably do a review on it sometime so more people kind of get their eyes open to this cool Aussie film. Let's keep moving on to, this is kind of out of left field, but it's a favorite of mine during the time of Halloween, October, where we are at right now, and this is something I used to watch when I was a kid all the time, and it always stuck with me, even though it's a Disney film. The movies, well, I guess this is a movie, it's two different stories in one movie. It is The Adventures of Ichabod Crane and Mr. Toad. And I guess the more spooky one is the Ichabod Crane story, and it's pretty much what I always imagined when I hear about Ichabod Crane and the Headless Horseman. So this kind of stuck with me over the years when I was a kid, till seeing Sleepy Hollow with Tim Burton's iteration of the tale. But yeah, it's just a really cool, classily done. It's Disney, old school Disney, and Mr. Toad's just a lot of fun too. Because I used to love The Wind in the Willows. What a nerd. But yep, I picked up this one because it was like dirt cheap, and I'm like, you know what? I loved it at my childhood. I actually watched it last year during Halloween, so it still entertained me. So why not put it in the collection? And it's never actually been in the collection before. I didn't own it on DVD or anything like that, so good to have it in the collection. But let's keep moving. Jeez, and this one's just totally different from what I just showed you. It's a disgusting, gross, repulsive film called, aptly enough, Street Trash. And this one, what was that other film I just said? Like Razorback, I have not seen this one since college when we've rented it from the local video store on VHS. And from what I remember, it's just a bunch of homeless people like decomposing from this new drug that's on the street, and it just kind of follows all these homeless people's antics. And I don't know the specifics, so I gotta watch it again, but it is a messed up movie. That's all I remember. Like all these weird stuff going on here. But yeah, Street Trash, special meltdown edition from Synapse Films. Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch this one real soon because I remember it was just really out there. But good to have it in the collection because I never had it in there prior on DVD. We got two more. We can squeak out two more. Right? All right. Well, this one is an 80s classic. If you haven't seen this one, you're really doing yourself a disservice. Stop the video and go put it on right now. The movie I'm talking about is The Goonies, and I picked it up on 4K because, I don't know, I didn't like the transfer of my other Blu-rays, so figured I would step it up a little bit and see if this new transfer on this one is any good, because this is actually one of my favorite 80s films with an amazing cast. Richard Donner directs it, and it is just fantastic. It's probably the apex of 80s kind of kid adventure films. And if you've seen it, you know, I'm not going to rehash the story, but a bunch of kids that call themselves the Goonies go on an adventure and have a swashbuckling time finding treasure, and just a whole bunch of cool stuff happens. So just watch it. If you haven't seen it, just watch it, and if you love it, let me know below in the comments, because the Goonies is badass. But let's move it on to the last one, and it is appropriate for this time of year. It is a sequel to an amazing horror film. I don't know if this one's as good as that one, but at least it tries, damn it, and it has some of the same cast, and it's neat. The movie I'm talking about is Night of the Demons 2. And like I said, not as good as the original, but the sequel does a really decent job of entertaining you. I mean, the main actress from the first film, who's the main demon, she comes back and wreaks havoc at this kind of convent, or it's like a Catholic school or something like that. And the most outrageous thing is that the nun of the school just pretty much goes into battle mode and just like takes it to the demons, gets holy water, all kinds of weapons and stuff like that. So it's just hilarious, and I think I'm actually going to be reviewing this one. I want to get it out this month because it's, you know, pertinent to this time of year. But yeah, I have never ever owned this one before, and really glad to have it in the collection. And I actually saw it for the first time a couple weeks ago, so it was just one I've been putting off or never had the opportunity to check out. But after I've seen it, I love it, but not as much as the first one. But yeah, Night of the Demons 2. But my friends, this is it for this movie haul. Fabulous array of pickups, a lot of different diverse ones in there to throw you for a loop. And yeah, happy Halloween. It's coming up. We're in October now. But yeah, I hope you like that, guys, and I hope you like what I'm doing. If you do, like and subscribe, and if you have time, leave a comment below, because I'd love to hear from you guys. But until then, I will talk to you next time I'm in front of a camera talking about movies. So stay out of trouble, stay safe, and I'll see you guys later. Later.